Namaskaram. So today is Vishaka Shashti. It's always coming in a triplet like this: Vinayaka Chaturthi, Rishi Panchami, and Vishaka Shashti. Every year, these 3 days are very special. Like yesterday, we said it's very auspicious to remember the knowledge givers who have seen the Vedic knowledge and bestowed it not only through the sounds but also through our genes. Today is Vishaka Shashti. Vishaka Nakshatra is the nakshatra in which Muruga was born, and Shashti is a tithi which is special for him. The only time both of these come together is the second day after Ganesh Chaturthi. So once Ganesha comes, he brings along all his bandwagon, his whole gang, and that is the rishis and Muruga, so that we can take benefit of the energies of the day. So when we tune ourselves with whatever is the energy which is most prevalent on that particular day, it's much easier for us to access than to access a same energy every day if we try. Then also it is okay. But when we try to tune with whatever is available on that day, it also helps us, our mind, to adjust to different situations that we face every day, because we will not face the exact same situation day after day, moment after moment. Situations will keep changing. So we need to adjust, adapt, and accommodate to those new situations so that we can handle that. For this purpose only, what we have, what is known as a Panchangam. Panchangam basically gives 5 aspects. One is the day of the week, which we are familiar with in English also, like Sunday to Saturday, and then which is called as Vara. Then there is something called Nakshatra, which repeats once in 27 days, which is the star. And then there is something called the Tithi, which repeats once in a month, because it is essentially the phase of the moon, how far the moon and the sun are from each other. Moon represents our mind, sun represents our soul. So how far each of them are from one another basically tells us how distinct the mind is behaving from our soul. So it's important to understand that when they come close together, which is what we call as Amavasya, then essentially the mind and the soul are in tune with each other. And those days are really good for us to grasp knowledge of any form, especially spiritual wisdom, very easy to understand and imbibe. Similarly, on a Paurnami, the sun and the moon are exactly opposite to each other, which is why the moon, like a mirror, is reflecting whatever the sunlight comes to us. And therefore, the ability to be in bhakti or devotion is really maximum there. So, as I've been saying before, any combination of these is conducive for different purposes. It's a question of identifying that purpose and utilizing that. In that series, all Chaturthis, that is the 4th day after the Amavasya or 4th day after Paurnami, is called Chaturthi, which is special for Ganesha, which is our leadership capabilities, which is our ability to use the wisdom that we have in order to accomplish many things. Similarly, Shashti is the ability to perceive things as they are, which is what Muruga did, because of which he became a guru to his own father Shiva, who's the ultimate knowledge and wisdom himself. To him, Muruga became a guru even as a small child. Tandaikum Guruana Kadavul, we call him. That is, essentially, he became a guru for his own father. So, by seeing things as they are in nature, we are able to imbibe so much of knowledge and wisdom that is there in the outer world, which Mother Nature automatically bestows upon us. Most of the time, we are just seeing through our regular sense organs. So we have a certain limitation in terms of what frequencies of light we can see, what frequencies of sound we can hear, and what range of smells we can have, what range of tastes we can have, what range of touch we can feel, which we can't feel. And different animals have different aspects of these. But once we get into an intuitive state like Muruga does, then we are able to access the universal intelligence, and that's why this Jnana Mudra, we call it, is also special for Muruga. In fact, it is special for all the three chakras. We did that for the Muladhara meditation. The same thing holds for the Swadhisthana meditation, where Muruga is. So a couple of days back, we did the Muladhara meditation for Ganesha. Today, because it's Vishaka Shashti, both the nakshatra and the tithi are conducive for meditation on Muruga. We will imbibe that so that we can start working from not just our own individual intellect, which however large it might be, it is always finite. But once it joins the universal life energy, then it becomes the universal intelligence. So we are able to do things much, much easier and understand things much easier. Since the course is starting tomorrow, the ability to grasp that knowledge effortlessly is what we are trying to do through that. So next, what we will look at is very similar to the meditation that we did on Ganesha, and with the same mudra. So with the same mudra, we will perform a meditation for Muruga, which will help us improve our perception capability. So let's close our eyes. As usual, we will start with 3 chants of Aum and keep the Jnana Mudra or Chin Mudra on top of your thighs with the palms facing upwards. Take a deep breath. Make sure that your back is as vertical as you can keep it. Aum Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. 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 Continue to focus on the Swadhisthana chakra, which is 1 inch below the navel, right in our back, into our backbone, which is the position from which if we operate, then we access all the greatness, power, capability, and most importantly, perception of Muruga. In other words, we see things the way Muruga sees it. We see the whole world the way Muruga sees it. We see knowledge, wisdom, as it is accessible to Muruga, it is accessible to us if we operate out of this Swadhisthana Chakra. Because we already have the blessings of Ganesha, now we have come to the Swadhisthana Chakra, which is the main chakra which is involved with the mind. Because the bottommost chakra, Mooladhara, is associated with the earth element. The Swadhisthana Chakra is associated with the water element. And we said that the mind is very fluidy like water. It just flows in whatever direction the emotions take us. If we are happy, it flows in that direction. If we are sad, it flows in that direction. If we are scared, it flows in one direction. If we are angry, it flows in another direction. If we are loving, it flows in one direction. If we are compassionate, it flows in another direction. Essentially, it takes a path from a higher pressure level or a higher height to a lower height or a lower pressure level. So that tendency of the mind to move with the emotions is its nature. We can't do anything about that. The only thing we can regulate is what kind of emotions we can actually access at any given point of time. How can we do that? By synchronizing our breath with this. And as we have already been saying, the most simple aspect of doing that is by taking as long and as deep breaths as possible, holding it within us as long as it is comfortable, and then exhaling for as long as we can, and then holding the vacuum for as long as we can. The simplest and probably easiest for everybody to do is that count of 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2, which I introduced to you for a Ganesha meditation as well. So we shall follow the same thing for the Muruga meditation as well. The hand position is also same. In other words, the palms are parallel to the ground and kept on the hips, facing downwards. And as we inhale, we will do diaphragmatic breathing. That is, we will make the abdomen go in so that the diaphragm goes up and pushes all the air out of the lungs. And similarly, when we inhale, the diaphragm comes down as the lung fills up and the abdomen comes out, and then the elbows move slightly backwards. So this we will do according to the counts that I give. And while we do this, let our focus remain on the Swadhisthana Chakra of Muruga, that is 1 inch below the navel, but in our backbone within our spinal cord, which is the center of the mind. So whatever we need to do with the mind, we can do with this, because the very word Swadhisthana means being established in the self, which is what we ascribe our middle finger to, that we are the self, the Atman, the Brahman, which is eternal, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. That Brahman we get established in, and that's why Murugan is said to be identical with Brahman. That's why he has 6 phases. We call him in Tamil Arumugan, or in Sanskrit we call him Shanmukha or Shanmuga. Essentially it means Mukha, like in Kannada, means phase, and Shan means 6. And so 6-phased one. And this is beautifully brought out in a simple Tirupugal that we have heard at home many a times. Yeru Maileri Vilayadum Mugamondru. What we are saying is, one of the phases is about being playful, Vilayad. Vilayat is essentially a game, a play, And how do we play? By climbing on the peacock. And what is the peacock? Peacock represents anything which is beautiful and which is of value to us. So we ride on those things which are our assets, which are our strengths. Each of us have our own peacocks that we can ride, because each of us has been endowed with by Mother Nature with various capabilities. We ourselves know those capabilities, those strengths. So just by riding those, we can recognize its beauty, its capability, and make life a game. So that is the first phase of Muruga. So in the first cycle, we will concentrate on that playful Muruga, that we ourselves are playful like that with our life. So let the focus be on the Swadhisthana Chakra and think of that first phase of the 6 phases of Muruga, which is very playful because it is riding a beautiful peacock, that beauty being our strength, that strength being our beauty. So let's take a normal breath in and leave it out fully. Now we will breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. Now get ready for Bastrika, which means that we put our thumbs into our 4 fingers with a tight grasp, and then we keep our hands loosely next to each other. The shoulders are very flexible, and each time I say breathe in, you will take your hands up, opening up all your 5 fingers, and then when I say breathe out, you'll again bring it down, and we will do this for 16 times with the count. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Now put your hands on your thighs, with the palms facing upwards, no mudra. Just keep it facing upwards and observe the breath patterns. It's a slow change in the way we will breathe, and slowly it will stabilize. So let's give a few seconds for the breath to stabilize. Just keep observing the breath. Every natural, normal inhalation, you're getting energized, and at every exhalation, you're getting relaxed. Now once again, we will get into the Jnana Mudra. No other change, just the hands. Instead of just the palms facing upwards, now into Jnana Mudra. Still on the thighs, the eyes closed, and take our focus back from the breath to the Swadhisthana Chakra, the chakra of Muruga. Now we will focus on his second phase out of the 6. ஈஷருடன் ஞான மொழி பேசும் முகமொன்று. That phase with which, as a little kid, he talked great knowledge and wisdom, words of meaning towards Aumkara, towards his own father, as his disciple, he becoming the Guru, whom we call as Guru Guha. That's what we mean by ஈஷருடன் ஞான மொழி பேசும் முகமொன்று. So let's focus on that phase through which, just by being available to Mother Nature, just observing things without letting our likes and dislikes affect it, just observing nature as it is, so that we can access the universal intelligence. Focusing on that phase, which is not only of Muruga's but ours, whenever we make ourselves available to nature, we will continue to focus on the Swadhisthana Chakra, 1 inch below the navel, right in the back, within the backbone, within the spinal cord, and recognize that we have access to universal intelligence as we shall do the next stage of the pranayama. Same repetition. Once again, we put our hands with the palms facing downwards, parallel to the ground, on our hips. Take a deep breath in and leave it out, and we start. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Now get ready for Bhastrika. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Now put your hands, palms facing upwards on the thighs, and observe your breath. Having given a few seconds for the breath to stabilize, we'll now once again get back to the Jnana Mudra, keeping the hands on the thighs with the palms facing upwards, the pointing finger and the thumb touching each other at the tips, the other 3 fingers stretched out. Now we will focus on the 3rd phase of the 6 phases of Arumugan Shanmuga. Kurum Adiyargal Vinaitirka Mugamondru. In the case of Muruga, it refers to his ability to remove the troubles or fulfill the requirements of all his devotees. In our case, we are intricately connected with so many people in our lives, especially our family members, friends, relatives, and whoever we interact with. not necessarily on a daily basis, but whom we interact with. Sometimes they need something from us, sometimes we need something from them. So every one of us is in a state where we can fulfill the needs of a few needs of others, and we are also in a position to solve certain issues that others might temporarily be facing. So that aspect of us is the third phase. Kurum adiyargal vinai தீர்க்க முகமொன்று. We are able to access our universal intelligence, which is available to everybody just for the asking, if only we have an intuitive perception. And that's what Muruga does. And when we operate out of our Swadhisthana Chakra, we are capable of this third capability also, to fulfill other people's genuine needs and requirements and solve their temporary problems. So with that attitude, we will now perform the next stage of pranayama. Now we will get into slightly deepening the practice. So the breath that we take, it can be elongated a little bit if we do what is known as Ujjayi breathing. That is, we make a hissing sound at the pit of the throat. This is how it sounds when we take an inhalation, for example. And when we exhale, so this is called as Ujjayi breathing. By making that hissing sound at the throat, what we are doing is we are further slowing down our inhalation and exhalation and making it longer and deeper. As I've already told in a previous session, the way our lifetime or lifespan is evaluated is not in terms of the number of years that we live, but the number of breaths that we take. How many cycles of breath we take in our life, that is kind of fixed based on our past karmas. Now, by taking slower, longer breaths, we are extending our lifespan and also our capabilities to do activities, think thoughts, and speak words which are beneficial to us as well as to all those around us. So, keeping this in mind, we will try to utilize the Ujjayi breathing during the next stage of pranayama. So our focus once again is on the Swadhisthana Chakra, 1 inch below the navel, into our backbone, within our spinal cord, where we are seeing our friendly face. Our face which can help so many people just with a smile, and then to recognize their problems, understand it, and offer solutions rather than mere solace. So, with this ability of ours to be further deepened, we will go to the pranayama. Once again, we will keep our hands facing down, parallel to the ground, on our hips. And also observe that because we are doing abdominal breathing, the slight movement of the elbows. Whenever we have exhaled, the elbows would move slightly forward. And whenever we inhale, the elbows would move slightly backwards. So let's start, and this time with Ujjayi breathing. That is with a hissing sound from the pit of your throat. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. Now get ready for Bhastrika. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Relax by putting your hands with the palms facing upwards on your thighs and just observe your breath. The pattern of breathing slightly changes and soon stabilizes. Now again, let's get into Jnana Mudra or Chin Mudra. The pointing finger touching the thumb, the other three fingers stretched out, palms facing upwards, loosely relaxed and kept on the thighs. Now let's focus on the fourth phase of Muruga by looking at it as our own phase. When we operate out of the Swadhisthana chakra, 1 inch below the navel, right in the backbone, within the spinal cord, recognize the fourth phase, Kundruruva Velvangi Nindra Mugamondru. As you know, the Ayuda or weapon in the hand of Muruga is the veil or a lance, and this veil represents Jnana Shakti. We say Aum Shakti, Aum Shakti, Aum Shakti Om, Adi Shakti, Parashakti, Mahashakti Aum, Aum Shakti, Aum Shakti, Aum Shakti Om, Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti Aum. So you see there is something called Icha Shakti, which is our willpower. Kriya Shakti, our power to act, the power of action. And Jnana Shakti, the power of knowledge or wisdom. And it is that Jnana Shakti which is in the form, symbolized in the form of a veil. Valli, one of the spouses of Muruga, is a representation of the Icha Shakti or willpower. Devyane is Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti or the power of action, whereas the veil is the Jnana Shakti or the power of knowledge and wisdom. So this veil is given to Muruga by his own mother Parvati, who, as you know, is situated in our Agnya chakra between our eyebrows. So from that chakra, she produces a veil, which is the weapon symbolizing knowledge and wisdom, the intuitive wisdom, and passes it on to Muruga to defeat enemies. And these enemies are not external, but our own internal enemies, like hatred, jealousy, anger, lust, greed, etc., which haunt us every now and then. May not be there all the time, but once in a while they come and then they leave. But even that passing visit of these, we would like to avoid by showing our veil, showing our knowledge, showing our wisdom. So this is the phase where from Mother Nature, represented by Parvati, we are accepting that knowledge and wisdom. Not only in the second phase where we can teach somebody, including our elders, like how Muruga taught his father Shiva, but even so for our own purpose, Because knowledge and wisdom we gain not only to share with others, but to utilize ourselves also. So this is a phase with which we utilize that knowledge and wisdom to get rid of enemies within us, the Shad Ripus or six enemies as we call them, like what I already mentioned: jealousy, anger, hatred, fear, lust, greed. So these six we would like to avoid as far as possible by not by attacking them, but by just producing this knowledge and wisdom, they disappear. Like how for darkness to disappear, we don't need to go and fight with darkness. Just switching on the light or lighting a lamp, the darkness will vanish automatically. Similarly, where there is veil, the six ripus or those six qualities that I mentioned will automatically disappear. You don't need to fight with each one of them individually. So, with the focus on that kind of a phase where we are putting this knowledge and wisdom to our own utility to get rid of all these negative thoughts, negative emotions within us, let's get on to our pranayama by keeping the hands once again on our hips, palms facing downwards, parallel to the ground. And once again, we will do Ujjayi breathing, that is with a hiss. When I'm giving the count, you may not hear me making the hiss because of the number counts, but you can do the hissing sound every time you inhale and exhale so that you feel much more relaxed and much more energized with every exhalation and inhalation respectively. Let's begin. The focus once again is on the Swadhisthana chakra, 1 inch below the navel, into our backbone, within our spinal cord, recognizing our own phase, which is the phase of Muruga, which is able to utilize knowledge and wisdom to get rid of our own internal enemies. Take a breath in, leave it out fully, and start. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Get ready for Bhastrika. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Put your hands on your thighs, palms facing upwards, no mudra. Just open palms facing upwards and observe your breath. Slowly tends to relax and slow down. We give it a few seconds to stabilize. Now once again we get into the Jnana Mudra or Chin Mudra. The pointing finger touching the tip of the thumb. And now let's bring our focus back from our breath to our Swadhisthana chakra. 1 inch below the navel, at the back, inside the spinal cord. And here we recognize the fifth phase of Muruga, which is also our own phase, which is Marupadai Sooranai Vadaitha Mugam Ondru. Marupadai, that is, which keeps on changing, which is an army of an Asura whom we call as Surapadman. And what we are talking about here is that phase of Muruga with which those changing armies and the Asura himself were killed by Muruga. What this essentially means is that in the previous stage, we had taken the veil, and with that light, the darkness disappeared. But it may not disappear permanently. Every now and then, the darkness will come back in different ways, in different phases. But now that we have the veil, we can always get rid of it. And Maruppadai Sooranai Vadaitha Mugamundru refers to the fact that we are capable enough, in whatever form lust, greed, anger, hatred, jealousy come back to us, fear, anger, all these things we can handle. They may come with different names towards different people, towards ourselves sometimes. Whatever it is, they might come in the form of guilt, they might come in the form of anxiety, whatever it is. All of them are just only Marupadai. They're just changing their own shape and form and coming back as if we will not recognize them. It's like little kids who put on some mask and come and try to fool us that they are somebody else. No, we recognize that who they are and how we can handle them. So similarly, this darkness, which is just a distortion of our own energy, our passion, sometimes it becomes aggression. So we like passion. We want to have passion and be passionate about things that we would like to do. But at the same time, when that passion crosses an extreme and becomes aggression, it can be detrimental not only for ourselves but for others too. So we need to handle that by getting rid of it. Once again, no violence is required. Just bring in light or a Deepa and automatically darkness vanishes. So once again, we'll get ready for the pranayama by putting our hands on our hips, the palms facing downwards, parallel to the ground. And once again, we will do Ujjayi breathing, that is with a hiss in the throat, with the counts. Focus on the Swadhisthana chakra, the phase of Muruga, which is our phase to handle whatever so-called troubles and problems and issues might be. They might come with different phases, they might come in different forms, but always recognize that we have the capability already. Mother Parvati, Mother Nature, has given it to us from our Agnya chakra to the Swadhisthana chakra for us to handle anything and everything that comes our way. Without that capability, no such enemies will come. Only with the capability, these enemies come. And those enemies can always be recognized to be the same darkness. And that darkness can always be gotten rid of by Deepa. So let's focus on the Swadhisthana, on that phase of us which can handle all issues. And breathe in and breathe out completely and start. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. Now let's get ready for Bastrika. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Now relax by putting your hands once again on your thighs, palms facing upwards. No mudra, just the plain palms facing upwards and observing our breath, stabilizing. After a successful war against darkness, just by bringing the light in. After a few seconds, once we observe that the breath has stabilized, we once again get our palms into Jnana Mudra, Chin Mudra, pointing finger touching the thumb at the tips. The other 3 fingers stretched out. Once again ensuring and checking ourselves if our back is vertical. The body sometimes has a tendency to go back to other positions. So we bring back our back to a vertical position. And now we look at the last of the 6 phases of Muruga, which is also our own phase. Valliyai manam punara vandamugam ondru. That phase with which he lovingly embraced and accepted Valli as his wife. What does it mean? We already saw Vel was Jnana Shakti and Valli is Icha Shakti or willpower. We have a tremendous willpower within us, what is also known as Chit Shakti, and you've been doing the Chit Shakti meditations as well. What essentially it means that whatever sankalpa we take, whatever we strongly imagine, we can make it come across if that imagination is not just in our mind, but goes deeper into our consciousness. That is called as Chit, after whom Chidananda Swami is named, for example. Chit Ananda, one who is blissful in that consciousness. So, Valliyai manam punara vandamugam ondru. That willpower, if we can access in our mind and embrace it with love, then there is nothing that is impossible for us. Whatever we need to achieve can be achieved. And we just need a strong imagination for the future to be better for ourselves and for all who matter to us, who are around us. And the only requirement is that this imagination is not in the superficial mind, but deep within our consciousness, because that is omnipotent, that is all powerful. So now, with that phase of Muruga, which is also our phase, and the focus on the Swadhisthana Chakra, which is where we need to operate from with all these Arumugams or Shanmukha, we will now get to our position for Ujjayi breathing with our palms facing down, parallel to the ground, on the hips. Take a breath in and breathe out completely. Now with the count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 1, 2. Get ready for Bhastrika. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Put your palms back on your thighs, facing upwards, and observe your breath. It stabilizes with the fullest satisfaction that we have accessed all our 6 phases, all our 6 capabilities while operating from our Swadhisthana chakra, inheriting all the powers that we symbolize Muruga with. So have a gentle smile on our face, like the smile of Muruga. And recognize that it's a lot of creative energy which has been generated through our pranayama and meditation today on the Swadhisthana chakra, because we have gotten ourselves established in the self. That is what Swadhisthana means. Swa means self, Dhisthana means you have established in itself. In other words, we have been operating, thinking of ourselves as body, mind, intellect, various combinations in various times. But now we are recognizing our true identity, because of which we have these 6 capabilities, which are not new capabilities. They were always with us, just that we had put it in a particular place inside us that we forgot where it is. Like sometimes we keep certain things somewhere very safe in the wardrobe, and we might keep searching, not finding it. Like that, today we have unearthed precious gemstones, precious jewels, precious capabilities with which we can face anything in the world. Whatever situations come, we will take them up as opportunities and challenges, and like in the first phase of Muruga, we will have Velayattu Mugam, that is a playful phase. We will play the game with all the joy that a Bala Murugan or a little child Muruga has, because he is nothing different from us. We have conjured up that image of ourselves. Whenever we operate out of Mooladhara, we are Ganesha. Whenever we operate out of Swadhisthana, we are Muruga. That's why these 2 nakshatras are very important for him. Today's Vishaka nakshatra, where he was born, and Kritika nakshatra, or what we call as Kartigai in Tamil, which is also very important, because those 6 damsels of the Kritika nakshatra were the ones who brought him up when nobody else on this earth plane could handle his heat. He who is born with as 6 babies and eventually embraced by Parvati into one body with 6 phases, it just means he has 6 capabilities which are very difficult to find in any individual. But once we meditate upon that attribute of us and start operating out of Swadhisthana, then we are also capable of having all of these 6 wonderful capabilities. And why Kritika and Vishaka are very important is both of them are the only two of the 27 nakshatras which have both the masculine powers of Mars and the feminine power of Venus equally in them. Every other nakshatra has various other combinative powers, but these two nakshatras of Kritika and Vishaka have the masculine and feminine combined in them, creating a huge creative potential. And that creative potential is there for us to access, not necessarily only on these days, but every day once we have performed a meditation on this day, because our Swadhisthana Chakra is available for us at any time. Whenever we want, we can access it. It's in our own body. We don't need to go anywhere. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, whoever we are with, whatever may be our mental state, physical state, our Swadhisthana Chakra is always there with us. Once we start meditating on that and operating from that, all of these 6 capabilities of Muruga are not just the capabilities in that Vigraha, in Parni, or in our puja room, but they are our own capabilities. So with this energization and full empowerment of being Muruga, we will bring today's meditation to a close with 3 chants of Aum as always. Please get into a Chin Mudra and chant after me. Aum Vasanthi Mā Sadgamaya Tamaso Mā Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's rub our hands. Feel the warmth being generated, the temperature rising. It's essentially the heat of Muruga. You'll feel the sweat because he's a very hot baby, difficult to be handled by anybody on the plane of Earth. But now that we are him, we are able to handle it. We put this hot palms on our eyes and feel that heat percolating through our eyes, through our foreheads, into each and every cell of our physical body, to each and every nook and corner of our mind, to our intellect, and of course, his abode of the life energy, the vital pranic space, and the self or Brahman. Alagendrale Murugan, Agattin Alagu Mugattil Theriyum. Beauty itself is Muruga, and it's the inner beauty that reflects outside. So, with that beauty from our Swadhisthana, reflecting in our outside physical phase as well. Let's gradually remove our palms, bring it back onto the thighs, relax, and then slowly and gradually, whenever you feel comfortable, you may open up your eyes.